Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So nothing in the way of big fundamental news events today. It's all about Donald Trump's visit to the Middle East, the deals that he's making there, and we've seen a surprise downturn in the last few hours on the dollar, especially on the Forex pair. Just looking on them at the moment. Looking on cable, first of all, most interestingly enough, tomorrow we've got GDP data, unemployment data that has seemingly stepped up 0.1% in recent sessions, but we're seeing now that GDP data is the main key focus on cable. So if we look on intraday action, as I said, we had a bit of a downturn yesterday, especially when the inflation data did kick in. It didn't really have too much of an impact on price action. You saw this downturn, this channel to the downside, but on American inflation data, we've had more of a move higher. The fact that just look at the charts now and the data, core inflation at 2.8%, still vastly away from 2% on the Fed's target. So it is looking likely that it could stay elevated for now. And also inflation rate year on year creeping down to 2%. But, core inflation, without energy and food, we're just seeing what the surprises are in store for the Fed, Donald Trump, and the American economy going forward. So just looking at cable at the moment, because like I said, unemployment data was decent for the UK economy, just ticked a tiny 10% higher. However, GDP in tomorrow's session will be a key figure moving forward, and also retail sales for the American dollar as well. So lots to kind of digest in the next few days, but today there's not really too much apart from, as I said, Donald Trump's move to Saudi Arabia yesterday, and we'll see what else his tour enables. But just looking on the charts at the moment, just seeing what the key opportunities are. So we're hitting now pretty much attempting another peak, but it might be a little bit subdued because we are in a bit of a bearish channel at the moment. RSI just faltering from hitting another top in the overbought area. So as I said, GDP, the main key data, and we're just waiting to see if we can break this particular channel. For me, I'm looking at 134, nice psychological zone there that we've tested before at the previous top, failed, had a heavy rejection of roughly about 200 to 300 pips, and now it's creeping higher in the last session or so. So that's a nice bullish comeback for pound buyers. And let's just take a look on the euro dollar as well, because it's a little bit similar. We had this downward bearish bias at the moment, but as I said, now we had this slight spring in our steps for the euro, a little bit subdued for the dollar, but now we're just seeing if that's going to break away from this particular trading range as well. So again, 113, 113.50 for me is something that we're going to be looking at in the near term. So as I said, inflation data didn't really seem to be too much of a key figure in recent trading sessions. We're going to wait and see if it's going to change anything in the markets. And as I said, just keep an eye out for the big fundamental news events, which is what's coming next from Donald Trump. Are there going to be any more trade talks, any more peace deals in the global economy, which could start moving indices, stocks very, very vastly like we've seen at the beginning of the week. Obviously, the UK-US trade deal last Thursday was a big mover in the market. And now we've seen if the China one obviously has seen more of an impact on stocks and indices as well. But as usual, we'll bring you all the latest in the fundamentals and technicals as they come. So have a great trend day ahead. And until next time, bye for now.